I thought that maybe other kids would stop playing with their Playmobiles as they got older, but not me. I was unable to see what it would mean for me to grow out of it. Now, monkeys, for example, they will always remain playful. However, of a human it is expected that we effectively become boring as we get older. I guess it all starts at the age of 10, when you're no longer supposed to play with the Playmobiles anymore. To do that would then be regarded as childish, and to be childish is regarded as deeply undesirable. I remember school, in primary school, you play. Or well, kids tend to play. And then secondary school comes along. And we didn't play. You weren't supposed to. If you were like 12 or so, and you would perform an action that resembled playing, you would be ridiculed for it by children who are 1 year older than you. But then one of your classes is PE, and then you do play games. And these games are actually enjoyed by many children. But never would it occur to you that you can play these enjoyable games outside of PE. Because that would be considered childish. And if you're 12 years old, there are actually few things you hate more than being childish. You might say perhaps that you hear what I say, but that I am wrong and that nobody has in fact any desire to remain childish. Perhaps it is not true for everyone, sure. Perhaps there are some individuals who are legitimately boring. But I think there are many for whom it is true that their mature adult persona is an act, partially or even completely. I have this theory that in reality we are all children and we actually deluded ourselves into acting like adults. A few years ago there was this little low-budget children's film called Cool Cat Saves the Kids. It was one of those films that was considered so bad it's good. Sort of like The Room. But if The Room were a kid's film and nothing like The Room. I think the fact that under the guise of irony people are literally able to watch a whole ass children's movie, while it doesn't prove anything, it sure suggests something. I mean, much of the joy of a product like Cool Cat stems from the fact that the people making it are very clearly into it. I feel like it is inherently genuine. Like on a certain level, it is barely possible to even like Cool Cat ironically. Because some of the most likable aspects are enjoyed in the exact same way that it was designed to. Sure, the filmmaking in that movie is of a quality that could be considered bad. But that alone does not make it enjoyable. When we take joy in the energy of the actors, or when we laugh at a joke that is clearly intended as an actual joke, that cannot be considered irony. The fact of the matter, at least the way I see it, is that a lot of people are able to watch Cool Cat because the guise of the supposed ironic enjoyment allows them to dismiss the embarrassment of them being childish. Another way to dismiss the embarrassment of childishness, I see this happen in a lot of in various contexts, is by denying the target audience of the medium altogether. You could, for example, say, this Playmobil is not a playset, it's a display set, you fuck. And sometimes, I rearrange things a bit, and that might resemble playing with the Playmobil, but that is not what I am doing, of course. I'm an adult, and all forms of childishness are alien to me. Perhaps that's the central tragedy of mankind. We are not monkeys, and as such any simious behavior has to come with a disclaimer.